New York's classic rock, Q1043.
Good morning. Welcome, Kevin Gallagher. He is the author of Baseball, Teach Your Kid to Hit. He is also one of the founders of the campaign Save the Game. And when we're talking about the game, we're talking baseball. But first, I have to give you a little backstory to this interview, because I was supposed to speak to Kevin about a month ago, probably more. And I get an email that, no, you have to postpone this because Kevin had to have emergency stomach surgery. And just tell us briefly what happened to you, because we almost lost you. Thank God you're here.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, 5-6 weeks ago, whatever, was the 17th of February, I was feeling fine, 100%. I was going to live forever. And 9:46, from 9:45 to 9:46, I got terrible stomach pains. Turns out I had diverticulitis, I had a perforation in my intestine. I was filled with infection, and I had an hour to live. And they got me to the hospital in time. They got me to surgery, which they couldn't guarantee my wife I would survive. I did. It's 5 weeks later now, maybe 6, and I feel like $1 million. And I'll tell you what, the human body heals well. It's incredible, in my opinion. There's something behind that, God, in my opinion. But this whole experience of having my life in my Creator's hands and having to give it back to me has changed my perspective even deeper than it was before about how I want to live my life and what I want to do with it. And so in that case, it's been a very positive experience. I feel very strong now. I still got a ways to go, and I got one more surgery to go, but I'm happy, I'm positive, and I want to enjoy life more than I did before.
Kevin, were you aware of what was going on? Were you with it? And did you have a near-death experience, or what was going on?
Well, I was, like I said, at 9:45, I was on a call like this. At 9:46, the pain started to come. I drove myself to the hospital, but halfway there, I couldn't drive anymore. And for 3 hours, I was on morphine and everything else, and I was just screaming in pain. It was unbelievable. And so they treated me. It had to wait 11 hours for bed. And finally, when I got to bed, they did surgery. So I don't remember any of that, to be honest with you. No. I remember waking up and having tubes and everything else. And they took a large part of my intestine out as well. So to be perfectly frank, I have to wear a colostomy bag, which they'll reverse that process back in July and reattach me. But for the time being, it has to heal. So I'm happy to be alive, and I want to live differently. And I've always lived good. I sleep good at night because I live good during the day. Somehow I'm going deeper with that in a spiritual response to what could have been. Maybe I wasn't going to be here anymore. I see the world differently. I hear it differently. I feel it differently. So
we should all feel that way every day, and we say that, but well, thank God you're with us, Kevin Gallagher. All right, let's get to why I originally asked you to come on the show, and that's about the Save the Game campaign. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Save the Game campaign is something that's a national movement that I founded along with Jeff Fry, who's a former Major League player, and a colleague, Pat Gagan. But the purpose of the Save the Game movement is basically we feel, when we say save the game, it's not a cute saying. We really believe that we need to save the game of baseball because we feel that in 15 years, the game could be irrelevant or a third-tier sport. And the reason for that is the youth of America are not engaged with Major League Baseball as they once were. They don't play it as often. They don't go to games. They don't watch it. I have plenty of statistics I can give you if we get to that point, which back that up, including ad money, media rights money, attendance, all that, viewership. Only 7% of MLB TV viewers are under the age of 18. That's a problem. Any business needs to have vision and see where they're going to be in 15 years. You got to pay attention to generational trends and habits. And we don't believe baseball is. And so in 15 years, their customer base, which right now the average age is 57 years old for a baseball fan that watches TV, as they age out, and they will over the next 10 or 15 years, you need to replace them with new customers. I know they call them fans, but this is a business. You need new customers, whether you're selling donuts or you're selling baseball, and they're not getting new customers sufficiently to be able to support that in 15 years. We want to bring that to their attention. So we have a national Save the Game movement designed to get 1 million signatures to get the attention of Major League Baseball. I have a contingent of ex-players from Major League Baseball that will go to MLB, sit down, have a conversation, and explain our concerns to their business. We're not trying to fix their game. We're trying to save their game. We're not trying to fight with Major League Baseball. We're trying to align with Major League Baseball. We want this game to be around in 15 years for the grandkids and kids that are here today. So that's
How
that's
can
the
we,
reason.
okay, so how can we save the game?
Well, we're looking for the million signatures. The website to go to is savethegameus.com. That's savethegameus.com. There's a petition there. You can sign it, unchange.org. And so we get that petition going. What we feel the problem is that baseball has had the same type of recipe for over 100 years. That recipe is hit the ball, run, field, throw, action. And they've changed the recipe of the game from that, which is contact hitting, putting the ball in play, to a game where it's all power. And an all power game is a home run focused game, which creates a certain swing. That swing slows the game down because there's a lot of swings and misses. In order to hit the ball that way, you're going to swing and miss a lot, which creates a lot of strikeouts, walks, and home runs, which has nothing to do with the other 7 people in the field. The pitcher and catcher is throwing the ball back and forth, or they hit it over the wall, which is a sudden 30-second event, and everybody sits back down, and for the most part, goes to their phone. Now, the kids, when mom and dad take them to watch the game, it takes 4 minutes between balls put in play. That means there's nothing going on for a full 4 minutes. You can walk your dog and make a sandwich, the guy's still at bat. The kids aren't interested. They're brought up on technology. They're brought up on things that are faster moving: NFL, NBA, UFC, mixed martial arts, Netflix, gaming consoles, boom, boom, boom.
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah, everything. They don't even do voicemail anymore. And so baseball wants them to sit there and watch paint dry because of this new recipe. We want them to go back. We want to have Major League Baseball hear us out about their game dying, and to reintroduce what was happening for 100 years, which is action. And what action is created by putting the ball in play, creating rallies where they last 10 to 15 minutes. And you've seen Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium or Citi Field. Let's go Mets. They're on their feet. The hats are on backwards. That creates tension. It creates entertainment. And baseball's in the entertainment business. They're not in the baseball business. They're competing with all the things I just mentioned for eyeballs. And it's too slow a game. We want to go back to when we put the ball in play and create rallies, excitement, tension for sustained periods of time, and not a 30-second event that happens only 2.46 times in a game based on the average number of home runs.
I'm speaking with Kevin Gallagher. He has a book out called Baseball, Teach Your Kid to Hit So They Don't Quit. And more importantly, we are talking about the campaign he has founded, which is called Save the Game, meaning saving the game of baseball. So what are your qualifications? What's your background that you are one of the experts in trying to save the game of baseball?
Well, number one, I'm a fan, this is all about a grassroots movement, right? I'm trying to represent the fan out there. When you have a business, you need to listen to your customer. I'll tell you what, last week, a month ago, the NFL had these tremendous playoff games. You may recall 40 million people watched every game, and they had some overtime games. And the fans complained that the team only had the chance to touch the ball once, the other team didn't score, and there was a controversy. 6 weeks later, the NFL just yesterday said, "We heard you.
Right.
We're going to change that."
At least for the playoffs. Right.
Right. But they changed the rule because the fan complained. Major League Baseball is not listening to their fan base. So it's a grassroots movement. But my background is one where I played baseball my whole life. I played into college. I got signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. I played a short career till I got injured. I coached at every level. I don't know any more than anybody else, let's say, but I know enough. And I know the game's not working. And I'm watching, I drive by ball fields, there's nobody on them. Kids aren't playing. I got all sorts of statistics. Youth participation is down 26%. In 1982, the World Series drew 42 million people per game. In 2008, it drew 25, and this past year it drew 11. We have projections that will draw 5 million in 2039. So it's going in the wrong direction, and every business needs to have vision, right? Blockbuster didn't have vision. They thought everyone's going to come out in the middle of winter and go get a movie and rewind it, bring it back tomorrow. And the kids said, no, we want to download that. They didn't listen. They went out of business. So we want Major League Baseball to listen to where it's going. Wayne Gretzky is a great hockey player, and he's once said that a good hockey player always knows where the puck is, but a great hockey player knows where it's going. And that's the same thing in business. You need to know where the trend, they're not watching where the trends are going. We just want to bring this to their attention with lots of facts and statistics, and we have solutions about how we want to go about it. And part of those solutions is having a contingent of players, talk to them about reinvesting in contact hitting at the major league level so the game becomes more interesting for Johnny and Mary to watch, so that they'll go to the ball field possibly tomorrow with mom and dad. And then we want to teach them the way that the contact hitting so they have fun, hit the ball, come back tomorrow. Nobody plays baseball if they don't hit the ball. They quit. And so that's what my book was about. Teach your kid to hit so they don't quit. It's on Amazon. It's great selling into the approval from the major leagues and college ranks everywhere. But it gives a process to a parent to be able to teach their kid how to hit baseball, have fun, get dirty, and want to come back tomorrow. I'm not trying to create a major league player here, although you can. I don't want the kid to be the best kid on the field. I want him to be the happiest. You swing and miss, you're going to play soccer, you're going to play lacrosse, you're going to the street corner, but you're not going to play baseball anymore.
Can you put it in a nutshell, how you teach the kid to hit? Can you do that for us?
Yeah, I'll compare the two swings we're talking about. In the major leagues today, they have a power swing. The power swing is an upward angle, okay? And so it creates, if you went to math class, you'll know that a ball coming in on a straight line and an instrument going up on another plane, there's only one contact point, right? There's an intersection point between those two things, correct? And the ball is being thrown at 95 miles an hour. They got to start their swing early. You have a second to react. It's very difficult to get that one point. And that's why Major League Baseball has a tremendous amount of strikeouts right now, and hit the most ever in history. And so that's very difficult for them to do. So now if we're teaching that to the kids down below, which they are, because MLB is espousing it, how are they going to hit it, right? They're going to wind up quitting the game. They don't. I always say that baseball is the cruelest sport there is, because 4 times we take your child, my child, put them in the spotlight and say, Mary, Johnny, go ahead, let's see what you got. And they stand there, they swing and miss with their boyfriend, girlfriend, mom and dad, grandpa, strangers watching them. They're not sticking around very long. So what we teach, and it's been around for a long time, I didn't invent top hand contact hitting. I invented the process that can teach any parent, whether you're an accountant and never played baseball, in 45 minutes, how you can teach your kid. So if the ball is coming in on one plane, we need to get the barrel of the bat on that same plane of the ball as quickly as we can, for as long as we can, creating multiple points of contact along the way, not one point. You can hit it early, you can hit it late, you can hit it on time, but you got to put the ball in play. And for a kid, mom and dad wants them to hit the home run to win the game. The kid wants to hit a ground ball to short, get on by an error, get dirty, come in, high five his friends, and go to school tomorrow and talk about the game. Now you've created a baseball fan. Now you've created a customer. Now MLB has a customer base in 15 years. That's what we got to go after.
You know, I have this ongoing argument with my co-host, Jim Kerr, Rock and Roll Morning Show.
Oh, I know Jim Kerr.
Okay. So the ongoing argument is I find baseball, professional baseball, incredibly slow, incredibly boring. Yes, it's good when you're dating because it gives you time to talk because there's nothing going on. And then I'm looking at my grandsons. Now, both of them play and they love it, but they do not watch professional baseball. They love the Dodgers, but they do not watch the Dodgers on TV because they're used to watching the highlights of the game. All they want to see is the action of the game. Does the game need to be shorter? How do we do that?
The game doesn't need to be shorter. And that sounds contradictory. I agree with everything you said. Baseball knows they have a problem, so they're trying to shorten the game, right? Pitch clock, less trips to the mound, a man on second in the extra innings, let's get this thing over with. That's not the problem. The length of the game is not the problem. The pace of the game is. So in the 3-hour game, okay, which has always been 3 hours, and it's always been slow. It's just painfully slow now. Don Mattingly says, he's a manager. Donnie Baseball, I can't watch baseball. There's nothing going on. But anyway, so they know there's a problem, but they're fixing it, going about it all wrong. What we're saying is inside the game, you need to pick it up. Contact hitting will allow the action at least to have people sliding, throwing, running, 7 gifted athletes standing around right now. We need to put them in motion and have them do things. And so what we're talking about is the pace of the game. And I'll compare it to this. Those football games I talked about a few weeks ago, they were 3.5 to 4 hours long, okay? 40 million viewers, and we talked about it for days. So unbelievable, what games, right? Nobody complained about the length, but there was action. Here's the action in football is not the touchdown. It's the drive down the field. 3rd and 6, they pick up 7, yay. 4th and 1, they're going for it. They're on their feet. It's 10 yards, 15 minutes, and then there's a touchdown. So that's the sustained action. That's the tension. In baseball, the drive is the rally. A base hit, another base hit, guy gets thrown out, ball gets away, he slides in, they dive in the outfield. Hats on backwards, let's go Mets, let's go Yanks, sustained tension, sustained action to score the same amount of runs you score on 2 walks and a home run when nothing really happened. So we need to introduce the action back in the game. Your grandsons you're talking about that are watching the highlights, that's the generation. They don't have 3 hours or 3.5. Right. Here's what baseball is doing. They want to take a 3-hour and 15-minute boring game and make it a 2-hour and 45-minute boring game. Your grandsons aren't going to watch it. They're not, it's still boring, but it's less boring. No, you got to put some action back into it. So
Kevin, we're out of time. Again, how do people sign your petition for Save the Game?
Okay, if they want to stop complaining across America and have it at the end of the day go into ether, go on to SaveTheGameUS.com. SaveTheGameUS.com. There's a petition there. We need their help to get the million signatures to get MLB's attention. I got a contingent of ex-MLB players. We're going to try to form an advisory board, including players and fans, to go and have a talk to the business owners about what the customers want and what they're looking to see, so we can change the game and make it interesting again and have it around in 15 years. We're trying to save the game. We're not playing around here. It could be irrelevant. You may have to search on your TV in 15 years to try to find a baseball game like a soccer game, which is a great sport, but not a great TV sport. And so we're trying to avoid that now, not later.
Thank you so much, Kevin Gallagher. If you missed any part of this conversation, download the iHeartRadio app. It is free. My interviews live on. Sonstein Sessions, that's the name of the podcast. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Jim Kerr, Rock and Roll Morning Show, Q104.3.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.